Welcome to TeachMeAll.com. In this video, we're going to show you how to change the water pump on this 2006 Chrysler Town & Country Touring.
Yeah, now the problem this owner had with the water pump was the engine was overheating. There was a little bit of leaking underneath the water pump area, sir. So we're going to replace it today and show you how to do that.
Then we're going to go over the tools that we use to do this job.
We have a jack, one jack stand, and two wheel chocks. We have a flathead screwdriver that we'll use for removing the center cap, a 19mm socket, and a long handle 1/2-inch ratchet for removing the lug nuts. We have a torque wrench for torquing the lug nuts when we put the wheel back on. We have a 13mm socket and a 3/8 ratchet for removing the water pump pulley bolts. We have a 10mm socket and a 1/4-inch ratchet for removing the water pump bolts themselves. A 10mm wrench for removing the negative battery cable. We have our fastener remover tool. We have a hose that we attach to the radiator drain to drain the radiator fluid into the pan. We have a new antifreeze. Refer to your owner's manual for how much antifreeze you'll need. Ours use 2 gallons. We have some shop towels, a serpentine belt adjustment tool. You can usually rent or borrow one of these from your local auto parts store. A shop light, a drain pan, and some safety glasses. We have our new water pump and some RTV sealant that's designed to be used with water pumps. I'm going to raise our hood, remove our negative battery cable using our 10mm wrench. We remove our radiator cap. This helps the fluid drain better. Now this is where we attach our 3/8 diameter drain hose. Here's a picture of the drain hose attached. Then we had to use our flathead screwdriver here to open up the drain, the radiator drain. Be careful, this is plastic. It's best to use your hands if you can. And remember that antifreeze is dangerous to pets. Once all the fluid is drained out, we're going to tighten up the radiator drain. Then we're going to set our emergency brake. Put our wheel chocks behind both rear tires. This is the passenger side wheel. We're going to go ahead and remove the center cap. And we're going to loosen up the lug nuts with our 19mm socket and ratchet. With all the lug nuts loosened up, we're going to go ahead and jack our vehicle up. You need to refer to your owner's manual for proper jacking positions. Once the tires are off the ground, we're going to go ahead and position our jack stand. Lower the vehicle onto the jack stand. Never crawl into a vehicle that's not supported by jack stands. Then we'll go ahead and remove the tire. We slide the topper in the vehicle for safety and for convenience. On the passenger side of the vehicle, there are 4 fasteners holding on the splash shield. We're using our fastener remover tool. You can use a screwdriver and some nail-nose pliers. It's much harder to do that way, and you usually destroy your fasteners. With this tool, you can reuse your fasteners most of the time. We remove the splash shield. Now we're going to show the bolts holding the water pump pulley in place. Here we're using a box-end wrench instead of the 13mm socket and ratchet, so we're using a 13mm wrench here. And then we're going to go ahead and remove our serpentine belt using our serpentine belt adjustment tool. Now here are all the bolts that holds the water pump in place. We're going to use our 1/4-inch drive ratchet with our 10mm socket. There are 5 bolts. Be careful, these bolts are small and can break off easily, so just make sure you take your time, and you don't want to break one of these bolts off. You have to move the pulley around some to get the water pump off. You slide it out of place, clean the surface with a rag. This is the mating surface. Then we're going to use some RTV sealant around this indentation in the water pump. This is where our seal will go, and the RTV sealant is used to hold it into place. Go ahead and position your seal. It comes with your water pump, and give it a few minutes to dry a little bit so it holds the seal in place. Now don't put the pulley back on just yet. Let's leave it loose, but have it attached to the water pump, just slit over the end of it. You need to move the pulley around to get the water pump into place. Then you put the water pump into position, making sure the seal stays in position. And then go ahead and start putting your bolts back in. Now go ahead and tighten the bolts up with your ratchet. Be careful not to over tighten these bolts. With all the bolts tightened down for the water pump, we're going to go ahead and install the bolts for the pulley. And here we are using our ratchet this time. This way the pulley moves on the water pump. Beforehand the serpentine belt was still attached, so we use that so we can remove the bolts easily using the serpentine belt to hold the pulley in place. Here we're just using our hand to hold the pulley. Now this is putting our serpentine belt back on. Here's the routing instructions. It's under the hood. Go ahead and route your serpentine belt into position, making sure you get it routed properly. Now we're going to use our serpentine adjustment tool to relieve the tension, and we're going to slide the pulley and the serpentine belt into place over the last pulley. Now we're going to add our radiator fluid. Make sure the drain plug is closed. So ours took 2 gallons. Yours may be different. Then we slide the splash shield into place. Reinstall our fasteners. If you damage these fasteners, you can usually buy them at a local auto parts store for about $1. Then we're going to reinstall our tire and wheel. Then we're going to snug down the lug nuts. Then we're going to lower the vehicle onto the ground. So first we position our jack again, raise the vehicle up, remove our jack stand, lower the vehicle back down to the ground. And then we're going to use our torque wrench to torque the lug nuts to 100 foot-pounds that's otherwise specified, and do this in a crisscross pattern. We'll install our center cap, remove the wheel chocks, reinstall a negative battery cable.
Well, we hope this video will help you change the water pump on your 2006 Town and Country Touring.
Send any comments you may have to comment@teachmeauto.com. And as always, thank you for visiting teachmeauto.com and have a great day.